All right, guys, welcome to Chapter 9 Practice Test for Response Question number 14 with your favorite AP Computer Science teacher, Mr. Mackey. Now, before you even get going on this, let me just say, if you haven't tried to wrap your mind already around this question, you haven't already given it your best shot, just like doing a math problem, just watching me solve a math problem is not the same thing as having tried to attempt a math problem and failed, maybe slightly succeed, but then I explain it and you get more little aha moments going on. All right. So if you haven't done that, pause the video now and go ahead and try that first. All right. So looking at this, go ahead and read the question here with you. A class car has a method get tank capacity, which returns the capacity of the car's fuel tank. It also has a method get gas amount, which returns the current volume of gas in the tank, and a method add gas with parameters double gallons, which adds a given amount of gas to the tank. Write a class gas pump with the following features. All right, that might have sounded a little confusing, but what they basically have already done for us is there's already this car class that's been made, and it has some methods that it's letting us know about, okay? Some methods that we'll be able to access and use when trying to make this class, the gas pump class, all right? So this is what we're making here, and we'll be able to access some already made methods here from the car class. All right, so gas pump here, it says it has these following features. All right, now it's listing them out. Now, it didn't really nicely put them in all in order and stuff for you. So, especially since you're going to doing this on paper, I've decided to do this on Eclipse. I thought about doing it like on a text file, but I wanted you to be able to see, Eclipse say, hey, this is an error. What if I were to make an error, as well as better me being able to explain something like this doesn't work, and Eclipse would say, yeah, I agree, it doesn't work as well. All right, so I'm just doing on that on Eclipse, but you'd have to do this on paper. So first, looking at this, first thing when we get down is find out what fields and stuff we need to make, right? Because it went like field, method, constructor, method, method, method. All right, first I'm worrying about my fields, a static field. So starting off here, private, static, and let's see, it's talking about total amount of sales, so I'm going to call that a double. So we can have cents and stuff. The private static double total sales here. All right. Now, that's it. It's given us as far as explicitly stating any fields we have. I'm feeling like there's likely going to be more, but right now that's all that's popping out to me as fields to make. All right. Next, though, is this constructor here I'm going to look at. Okay, I'm skipping the method. That'll come later. Constructor that takes one double parameter, gas price per gallon. All right, so a constructor. All right, so that's going to just be public, has to have the same name as the class, so gas pump, and it takes one parameter, so double, let's see, gas price per gallon. I'm just going to call this part price. All right, and what this price will change. So now this is like, all right, if I got a constructor and you're giving it a parameter here, and that parameter doesn't actually change any field values, it'd be a completely pointless constructor. If this was it, this price needs to be changing something. All right, so that means I must have another field. Now, it didn't explicitly state this, making this question that much trickier here. So I need to make another one. This will be private double, and I'll call this one gas price per gallon. Okay, so the gas price for every gallon. And so now I'm giving it the price, and I'll say gas price per gallon is equal to this price. All right. Okay, so that was a little tricky there. All right. Next, though, it's only giving us one constructor, so now we're ready to move on to some of these methods here. All right, this first one it's mentioning is a private method. All right, just reading that, just the fact that it's a private method, that lets me know that this method is likely just going to be helping us use the help in the implementation of other parts of our class. So it's not a method we'll be able to access from outside the class. It's just something we'll maybe squeeze in a constructor or a method that will just help that one run a little bit, cleaner or easier to look at. All right, it'll make a little bit more sense hopefully in a second when I actually do that. But first, let's go make it. So a private method. So private get cost. All right, if I'm getting the cost, that means I'm going to need to be returning a double, right? So I'm get cost, and we end up providing it here, a double here. Give me a second. It's hard to talk and think at the same time. Get cost double gallons. All right. Now that I've got that, it wants me to return the cost of a given amount of gas. All right. Well, let's see. If this is the price, or this is the number of gallons we're giving it, all right, return the given cost of a given amount of gas. All right, that would be returning that gallons times what its price is. Well, what's the price here? Oh, wait, that would be, well, whatever this value right here, gas price per gallon. So gallons times gas price per gallon. All right, and now that would return here the total cost here of all those gallons. All right, cool. I think that one's good. All right, next method here, a private method pump with parameters double gallons that dispenses the specified amount of gas appropriately. And this appropriately updates the total sales field, okay, and returns the cost of the gas pumped. All right, so a private method here, first off, private, and now with the return type here, I think it's returning the returns the cost of the gas pump. Okay, so that's going to be a double here as well. Private, double, calling it pump, double, gallons. All right. Now, what am I going to do in here? Let's see. Well, one thing it tells me is it should appropriately update the total sales field. All right, so that's our static field, right? That's static, meaning it's not going to apply to any instance of this gas pump object. Every single one of them, even if I made a bunch of different, basically pump gas a bunch of different times and stuff, it's always going to be updating this total sales field. All right, that's always going to change. That's always going to, be there and continually change as I pump gas and whatnot. All right, so total sales. All right, now it's going to increase. Now, what's it going to increase by? Well, it says here by the well, all right, well, how do I find out how much is increased by? Oh, basically that would be how many gallons I've got times its price, right? Well, that's how much I spent, right? How many gallons and the price of those gallons. Oh, snap, I've already made a method that does exactly that. So now I could just copy and paste this right here into there, but that kind of defeats the purpose of this making this method. And also it says avoid necessary duplication of code. For example, pump should call get cost. All right, so this private method calling this other private method. So basically I'm just going to say total sales here is get cost, and now I provide my method get cost, the gallons again here. So boom, that, and now it's going to basically calculate the total cost here, gallons times price per gallon, and that'll then increase what my total sales is. All right. Next here is what am I ultimately trying to return? Oh, okay. Well, it says it basically wants me to return the same thing, return the cost of the gas pump. All right. Well, the cost of the gas pump is what I update my sales with. Okay. Also, it's what I'm returning. So return get cost gallons. Right. So once again, this is just basically returning the cost of the gas pump as well as updating the sales field with the cost of that gas pump as well. All right. Made those two private methods, so those are likely going to help me here with these public methods. All right, so two overloaded fill methods. Overloaded, right? So that means there's going to be two of them with the same name, but they're going to have different parameters. Yep, this one takes in a car, object, okay, or a car data type that fills in the car's tank, and another one that takes in a car object as well as a dollar limit double value. All right, so let me go ahead and first make this first one. So public, and what value is it going to be returning here? Okay, I might have to finish reading this. Both fill methods return the cost of the pump gas. All right, so they're both going to return the cost of the pump gas. That would be a double value. Public double fill, and it goes says and told me here, taking in a variable of type car. Okay, so basically meaning a car object, and we're calling that car object a car variable here as well. Okay, wait, now it's telling me here this underline error. Oh, that's just that annoying thing. This method must return a result of type double. Well, I haven't made my return statement yet, so just fill eclipse is coming. I'll just go ahead and type that so it fills out there. Okay, so I will be returning here a double value. Now, what I want to do here in this method is both fill methods return the cost of the pump gas. So maybe here I can go ahead and say return the cost of the pump gas. All right, let me think a little bit about what I'm saying here. That would basically just be doing the exact same thing as this method up here. Pump gallons here. All right, except I don't have gallons. Oh, okay, so that means here I'm going to go ahead and make my own little variable here, double gallons. And I'll say that this variable is equal to, all right, well, how much, when you fill up a car, let's see, how much can you actually give a car in gallons? All right, so I think this is something they're mentioning more up here, that when you're given a car, it has a method that tells you the tank capacity of that car. It also has a method that tells you method get gas amount, which returns the current volume of gas in the tank. All right, well, if you know the tank capacity of the car and you know how much is actually in the tank already, the amount of gas already in the tank, then you can be able to determine how much gas you'd actually have to give it. All right, so how am I going to find out exactly for this car object how much gas it can actually hold? Well, I'll have to say car dot, and so now I'm going to use this method on the car I gave it. And say car get tank capacity, like that. So now I know how much gas my car can hold. All right, but that's how much it can hold. I need to subtract from that the amount that it already has. Okay, so I'm going to use this other method the car has that tells me how much amount of gas is already in the car. So take away car dot, because all right, I got to say the name of the object dot the method in order to actually use it appropriately. Car dot get gas amount. So get gas amount, like that, and that would then tell me here the tank capacity of the car minus how much gas is already in the car. I'm going to call that how many gallons I'm actually going to fill into this car. All right. So I just made a temporary variable here that's going to hold that. I could have really copied all this code here and put it in right here. I just think this is, this is a style choice. I think it makes it a little bit cleaner to read. All right. So also though, also another good reason is another thing I need to do is I need to add the gas to this car. So it has this other method that actually adds the gas to the car. So I've determined how much gas I want to add to the car. And now I'm going to actually change the value of this car object by adding gas to it. All right. So giving it here the gallons then. All right. I already know how much gallons I want to give to my car. And so I'm going to say car.add gas gallons. All right. Now just to show you a little bit, I have already made a little what this car class would supposedly look like. All right. You didn't have to make it. You just had to know that this car class did already exist. But this is basically what it would look like. Okay, it has, well, it really just told you these three things. All right, I just was able to, assume that in order to make an actual legitimate class, I need to have fields and a constructor. Don't worry too much about that. Really, once again, you don't have to know exactly what this car class looks like. You just need to know about these methods. That's all it cares, okay? And you don't really even need to know the body of these methods, exactly like what it says right here. because it tells you what the methods do. As long as you know what the parameters to give it and what it's going to actually do or in return, then that's all you need to know. All right, but just in case you're curious, this is kind of what it looks like. All right, now I'm finished with that one, so I got to make another overloaded method, right? So it's going to have the same name, public double fill, but this time here it's going to take in a car object as well as a dollar limit. Okay, so what it says here about this dollar limit is basically that you know, sometimes you go into the gas station, right? You're pumping your car, and maybe you'd like to fill it all the way up to the top and always use this right here, but sometimes you don't have the money for it. So you're like, I only got, you know, like $5 to fill up my tank, you know, so just a little bit for right now until I get some more money to fill it up later. So in that case, we're going to use this method here. So it says pumps the maximum amount of gas that does not overflow the car's tank. Yeah, because you're never going to want to actually overflow the car's tank. That's kind of like what we just said over here, right? And does not exceed your dollar limit. So it's not going to overflow it, just like we did in this method up here, as well as it's not going to exceed our dollar limit. All right, definitely sounds like there's some conditions there. All right, if you know we don't want it, you know, we can fill it up more as long as it doesn't go over our dollar limit. Okay. First thing I want to say here, I'm going to go ahead and make, just like I did in this last one, I'm going to find out just exactly how much gas can go in this car at the moment. And I'm going to use the same sort of math as I did up here. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and copy and paste it here. So, get how much gas this car can hold, subtract away how much gas is already in the car. All right, so that's how much gallons I could actually put into this car if I had enough money for it. Ooh, what did I just say right there? If I have enough money for it. Oh, let's check that out. And by writing it code-wise. So, if get cost, oh snap, where did I just get this from? Get cost, right? Well, that was one of our private methods here. So I'm going to find out the cost of filling up this tank here. So if I can find out, you know, how much this is actually going to take. All right, the cost of filling up this amount of gallons. If that ends up being bigger than my dollar limit, this other value I gave it here in my parameters. All right, if that's the case, if the amount of gas I'm filling, if the cost of the gas I fill in my tank is bigger than my dollar limit, I'm not going to be able to fill it up all the way, right? So in that case, I'm going to have to change the gallons. I'm going to change this value here. In this case, it's not going to be equal to the maximum amount of gas I can actually put in the car. It's going to be limited instead by how much money I have. All right, so how would I find out how much gas I could actually buy with this amount of money? Well, if I have this amount of money right there, dollar limit, that's how much money I can actually spend. Divide by the price of my gas, like what's the price per gallon of a gas? Oh, well, we had, once again, that was one of our fields here, gas price per gallon. So divide a dollar limit by gas price per gallon, like such. Okay, so boom, right there. Now I just changed, okay, in this case, yeah, I'd like to fill in this much, but if the cost of buying all that gas is more than how much money I got, change how much gallons I'm actually going to fill in this car, and it's just going to have to be as much as I can actually afford, which is how much money I have divided by how much it costs per gallon for gas. All right, got that? One little thing, I didn't have to have braces on those if statements, you know, because it's just one line, but whatever, I did. Deal with it. All right, now I'm going to go ahead, just like this last one we made. Actually, what am I doing here? This one, see, flew over the chili charge tank, the post on the gas. All right, thinking. All right, going to go ahead here and return then pump and how much am I actually going to pump here? Let's see here. Oh, well, my gallons, right? I've already determined now how much gas I can actually pump, right? One cool thing here, as soon as I use this pump method, it's also going to be updating, because look what the pump method does. It returns here the cost of my gallons, but it's also going to go ahead and update my total sales. Remember that static variable? This one's keeping track of actually the cost of all this money I'm spending on gallons. All right, so it's also though going to return the cost of it, which is what I need to do here. So both these methods are going to return the total cost, which is what this get cost method does, as well as update my total sales. So that was kind of the purpose of these private methods. Now, once again, did these have to be here, these private methods? No, it's kind of a style choice. They just thought it helped make the, I guess you would do it if you think it makes your code a little bit easier to understand. So like down here in these methods, there's not quite as much code you're having to look at. You're like get cost. So like, oh, okay, that's going to just probably get the cost of my gallons here. And, pump is just going to like fill up my car. Or no, it's not. That's what my fill method does. It's going to update my total sales variable as well as give me the cost. All right. So I think there I am done with that method. Let's see, is there any more else to do? I got my fill methods. I got pump. I got get cost. I definitely avoided unnecessary duplication of code by using my private methods inside my public ones. Wait just a second. Boom, this one is done in the bank, pocket it. And that was probably pretty tough for you if you try that on your own, but that's how we get better, man. We try the hard ones. That's how we improve ourselves. Challenge me. I like to be challenged. I'm feeling it. Oh, I'm going to find another hard one right on the internet. I'm just going to Google search, spend my hours and nights and days practicing this. All right, I'm going to end this. That's as much as they're really going to say here. All right, how do I pause this video? Crap, I don't know. Dude, I don't know how to pause this video. I think they told me in the beginning it was like some button, like F. What are my F keys? I don't know what it is. F. I swear, like maybe it's F. Crap, I'm probably gonna do something wrong here. F5. Nope. I swear it was F something. One of the F things. Oh, did I pause it? It's paused, right? No, it's not paused. Oh, I found it. It's here.